Hey guys, in this week's video we're talking about the most critical skill you can learn as a DJ, and that is the skill of being able to read a crowd. Let's do it. Okay guys, so in this week's video I'm going to see if I can tackle quite a tricky subject, which is reading a crowd. Now this is a really difficult subject to approach because there's so many different genres of music out there. There's so many different people who have different music tastes. Within each genre is subgenres of music, and it's just endless. So I'll confuse myself if I try and go too deep in this. So I'm just going to say that what I'm going to be talking about is DJing at a wedding. Now the reason I do this is because I believe if you can DJ at a wedding, you can DJ anywhere. Because you'll turn up with your DJ decks and your music, and you're going to be faced with a completely wide spectrum of society from all different walks of life and all different ages. And you have to take that music and just please this audience, whether you're just pleasing sections of them at a time or all at once. So that's what I'm primarily going to be talking about in this video. You see, I'm going to stay away so much from club DJing and stuff like that, because the truth is, if you're a club DJ and the club just wants you to play house music, you're stuck with house music all night. But that's not so much of a problem because the people who are turning up to that club know it's a club that plays house music, so they're probably going to enjoy house music, which in a way makes it easier because you know you can play house music all night to people who like house music, and you're probably going to be playing the kind of music they like, okay? But of course there's a lot more to it than that. But that's why I wanted to explain I'm going to be doing weddings, because there's such a wide variety and different sections of the wedding and all that stuff. So without further ado, let's jump on the computer and I'm going to show you this diagram that I've made that's going to give you the thoughts in my head when I turn up to do a wedding and how I would approach getting people on the dance floor and keeping them there. Okay guys, so I've jumped on my computer here and I've got this diagram that I'm going to run you through. This may work, it may not work, just bear with me, okay? So, you're at a wedding and you're playing. Are people dancing? If the answer is yes, then you're actually doing a good job. Everyone's dancing and they're loving it. All you have to worry about at that point is keep doing what you're doing. Keep the vibe of music the same. So if it's a certain kind of energy level, keep that level of energy going. You see, if people are dancing and they're really having a good time to kind of upbeat pop music, you don't want to suddenly put on a really sad or slow song. You want to keep playing the same kind of energy song, so the same kind of BPM, same kind of style of music, okay? This is the easy bit. Once you've got people dancing, all you have to do is keep doing more of the same. Similar genre, similar vibe, similar BPM, that kind of stuff, okay? You can possibly build in energy throughout the night. So you may want to get the music faster and faster and build the tempo up, but the dance floor will tell you if you stray too far. So what I mean by this is if you start playing a slightly different type of music and people start leaving the dance floor, you may want to go back to the music you were playing prior. So that's the easy bit really. If people are dancing, you're doing a good job, keep doing more of the same. So what happens if you ask yourself, are people dancing? And the answer is no one's dancing, or just a few people are dancing. Well, this is when things get a little bit more complicated. So the first thing I say is look at the people in the room. Do they want to dance? Okay, because you may look out at the room and people are just not interested in dancing. So if the answer is no, it might be because they're deep in conversation, it may be that they're too sober, it may be that they're just not interested in dancing. In that case, all you need to do is turn the music down and play kind of chilled background music. So just stuff that will allow them to speak. At the end of the day, guys, our job is to entertain and not irritate. So if you look at the room and people are deep in conversation, you don't want to be making them having to scream in each other's ear. Just bring the volume down and allow them to just have conversation. Okay, so what happens if you look at the people in the room and they look like they do want to dance? And the answer is yes. The next thing I would do is I would look at what ages they are, okay? So you've got different age groups here. 18 to 30, which is quite a wide spectrum of people, but I think you can kind of categorize people by that much when they're under 30. And then you've got kind of 30 to 40, 40 to 50, and 60 plus, okay? That's kind of like the spectrum of people you would find. So let's start with some of the easier ones. So if I look at the room and people are 60 plus and they want to dance, and it just looks like it's mostly the people over 60 who want to dance, well then what I would start doing is playing songs from the 50s and 60s and some very well-known mild pop. Now, when I say mild pop, what I mean by that is kind of pop music that would be on the radio, stuff that your grandparents would actually know, okay? So that's easy enough. You just want to kind of play songs from their generation, and you want to play well-known pop kind of music, okay? The next one is ages 40 to 50. So I'm looking around the room, there's a lot of 40 to 50 year olds in there. They look like they want to dance. The things I would kind of play then is songs from the 70s, maybe 80s, well-known pop. You can start to play more modern pop at that point, mainstream radio, maybe some Motown, that kind of stuff, Stevie Wonder, all that kind of stuff, okay? So that's what I'd be playing in those instances. And all you're doing at this point is cycling through slightly different genres of music until you find something that they seem to like and they start dancing to. As soon as you found that thing that they like dancing to, you go all the way back up to this section here, which is, yes, keep doing what you're doing, okay? The next genre you've got is people who are 30 to 40. Now, at this point, I would say you can still play music from 70s, 80s, 90s, pop music, throwback kind of indie music, so you can start throwing stuff in there like Blink-182, that kind of stuff, maybe some kind of cheesy music. It's that kind of stuff that's going to get people going. Now, I'm going to avoid kind of naming too many songs here because people just disagree with what categories that music should fit into. But you should have your own good idea about what pop music is, what throwback indie music is, and that kind of stuff, okay? Finally, we get to the hot topic, which is this one, 18 to 30, which is most likely going to be most of the people who you're going to be trying to entertain as a DJ. So let's look at this subject. The first thing you want to ask yourself is, are they mainstream or alternative looking? Okay, so we're talking about people between 18 and 30 who aren't dancing but look like they do want to dance. First thing you want to think is, do they look kind of like mainstream type people? And this is very, I am going to be categorizing people here, but as a DJ, you kind of have to do this. So are they wearing alternative clothes or anything like that? Do they look like they're not the type of people who would listen to your mainstream pop music? Or do they look quite mainstream, like they're going to be the kind of people who like the charts? That's the first thing you need to ask yourself. If they are alternative and they're between 18 and 30 and they look like they want to dance, start playing some alternative music. Go for kind of throwback indie music. Go for some kind of rock and roll type stuff. And place everything, like I said, Blink-182 to Foo Fighters, to all kind of different types of music you could dance to that would be slightly more alternative to the mainstream, okay? That would be my thought process there. The next thing you want to think is, if they are mainstream, what's the vibe of the evening? So I'm going to move this out the way now. If they're 18 to 30 and it's mainstream music, what's the vibe? Are people on the pull, which I know is a bit odd at a wedding, but bear with me? Or are people looking to just have a laugh and get sweaty? As a DJ, you can usually categorize people like that. Are they kind of taking it very seriously and they're trying to do their serious dancing? Or are they just looking to have a laugh and they want to jump around and scream and have fun like that? Those are the two vibes. So if they're mainstream, this is what you want to be thinking. If they're looking to just get sweaty and have a laugh, you want to play mainstream pop Katy Perry, Black Eyed Peas, Taylor Swift, all that kind of stuff. You can start to throw in that kind of indie kind of rock as well. Blink-182, Foo Fighters, throwback hits from all different generations, pop music. You could even play some Cheese. You can probably get away with quite a lot here. And remember, guys, these are all just things that you're going to be trying on the spot. And as soon as people start dancing, you roll with it. So all of this is about just trying to find that sweet spot where people actually start to dance. You'll often start to find as well, it has a bit of a knock-on effect, where as soon as you start to play a song and one or two people start dancing, other people come and join them. And once people are on the dance floor, they're more likely to just stay on the dance floor. Okay, so what happens if the vibe is more like people are on the pull or people are taking the music a bit more seriously? I want you to think at this point more like you're in a kind of high-end club where people don't want to just throw their arms around each other, jump up and down and get sweaty. People actually want to dance properly. They've dolled themselves up. They're not looking and getting sweaty. They may be looking to attract someone, you know, like girls are dancing sexy, that kind of thing. You're going to hit this moment quite a lot as a DJ, where you've got younger, mainstream people who are looking for something a bit more serious than just jumping around. So at that point, as a DJ, what you want to be looking for is the right level of sexy music. When I say sexy music, I'm obviously referring to stuff that's more like R&B, hip hop, trap. And within that genre there's different levels. There's kind of like your more serious kind of music that people may want to actually properly get down to. And then there's slightly more poppy kind of versions of that kind of music as well. For example, a lot of Beyonce songs, they're R&B songs, but they're fun. They're kind of upbeat and they're a bit more pop than they are R&B. Now, I've had both scenarios in the past where I've had a group of girls taking the music very seriously, then I start putting on a bit more pop music, they're not happy and they leave. Or you have the alternative where you play kind of more serious kind of R&B music and people don't like that and they leave as well. So this is your job. You want to get the vibe right. And you're going to be trying lots of different music, hip hop, R&B, trap. We've got this thing in the UK called History, which is just kind of throwback R&B. And you want to see if you can get it right. If you're trying all these things and it's not working, you've probably slightly misjudged and you want to go back to trying this kind of stuff, which is more mainstream pop, maybe some kind of throwback indie stuff, and just try different kind of genres of pop. That would be my starting point for all these different types of people. And remember, guys, once you've got it right, keep doing more of the same thing. That's the best way I can explain it. This is a really tricky subject, and what it comes down to is you guys just using your eyes, being able to judge what people are like based on what they look like, how old they are, what kind of clothes they are wearing, how seriously they're taking the music, and then playing the type of music that you think they're gonna like. If you get it right, you've hit the jackpot, keep going. If you get it wrong, what it boils down to is just maybe changing it up, different type of music, different tracks, and keep going till you get it right. You see, this is the interesting thing about being a DJ, is you want to get momentum on the dance floor. If there's no one dancing, there's no momentum. Once you've got a group of people on, it will start to grow and grow and grow, to a point where if you've got a big enough dance floor, there's bigger room for error. You see, like if you've got a small group of people on the dance floor and you play one track they don't like, they're going to leave. If you've got 50, 60 people on the dance floor and you play one song that's not so good, you're probably going to keep most of them there. So it's all about getting people on and building that momentum. And the final thing I want to say as well, guys, is if you ever go and play a gig one night and no one dances, don't beat yourself up too much about it. We've all been to nights like that, and sometimes people are just not in the mood to dance, and it's not always your fault. So there we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment and let me know what you think about some of the stuff I've said. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel for more weekly videos. Finally, I just wanted to say, if you guys are new to DJing and you want to learn how to DJ, make sure you go and check out beginnerdjlessons.com, where I can teach you everything you would need to know about doing your first DJ gig, right up to advanced DJing skills. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao!